pickle.
Let's do some rankings.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football is unveiling its Week 10 statewide Texas high school football rankings at texasfootball.com. The rankings are compiled by the Dave Campbell's Texas football staff. DCTF has published the state's most respected Texas high school football rankings for decades and is the official rankings provider of the Associated Press since 2019. Weekly rankings are revealed on Texas Football Today every Monday at 12:30. It is actually 12:30.
Let's go.
We did it.
Let's go.
We did it.
The goals.
Look at us. Blocking out the show. At texasfootball.com/live and complete rankings can be found at texasfootball.com/rankings. Let's get to it. The Week 10 Texas high school football rankings. We will start in 6A, where a little bit of changes, and especially at the bottom of the rankings, we are seeing some movement as far as the bottom is concerned, including 3 new teams entering the ranking. Converse Judson takes down San Antonio, or wins by forfeit over South San. Some spots open up ahead of them that allow them to nudge back into the top 25. Klein Oak into the top 25 with their win over Klein Collins. Very impressive, 26-0. And San Antonio Johnson, Mark Soto, cooking something up with the Jaguars. They're 4-0 after their 19-6 win over San Antonio Brandeis. The top 10, though, unchanged. Galena Park, North Shore, Duncanville, Katy, Austin, Westlake, Allen, DeSoto, Lake Travis, Cy-Fair, Denton Guyer, and Cedar Hill. To 5A we go. 5A Division 1. I hope you like a lot of chalk because we got most of it. Top 3 unchanged. Denton Ryan, Highland Park, and Lynx are still a top 3. Cedar Park edges out Richmond Foster for the number 4 spot in our rankings as they jump ahead of the Falcons to the number 4 spot after their big win over Austin Anderson. Everything else unchanged. Manville, Longview, Lubbock, Coronado, Frisco, Lone Star, and Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. Over to 5A Division 2 we go, where also a lot of chalk with the exception of the very bottom. Top 9 are unchanged, but a new number 10 as Huntsville, their big win over previously unbeaten Brian Rudder, vaults them into the top 10 ahead of Liberty Hill, who did nothing wrong, but Huntsville played a tougher team and was a little bit more, as a result, that strength of schedule nudges them into the top 10. Huntsville, the newest member of the 5A Division 2 top 10. To 4A we go, where we've got some changes. 4A Division 1. Waco La Vega's loss to Midlothian Heritage drops them from number 3 to number 10, and into the number 9 spot is Midlothian Heritage, the team that beat them. Paris up 2 spots to number 8 with their win over Kaufman. Everything else largely unchanged, but a lot of movement. Port Lavaca Calhoun, now the number 3 team in 4A Division 1. By the way, coming up in a couple of weeks, Calhoun and Cal Allen. That is going to be tasty. In 4A Division 2, also pretty similar, although there's some movement at the very bottom as number 7 drops out of the 4A Division 2 rankings. But Graham nudges back into the rankings at number 10. Everything else mostly unchanged. A couple of forfeits, by the way, in there, as Glen Rose got a forfeit win, and so did Pleasant Grove. 3A Division 1 now. Lot of changes here. Okay? So number 5, Mount Vernon loses to Winnsboro. They drop out of the rankings. Everyone moves up a couple of spots, especially Tuscola Jim Ned. They jump from number 7 to number 5 with the movement. New to the rankings, breaking into the rankings for the first time, the Buccaneers of East Chambers. They're the number 10 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football at 7-0 after their win over Kirbyville. To 3A Division 2 we go, where chalk. Entirely chalky. Unchanged, Canadian still your number 1 team in 3A Division 2. To 2A we go, where 2A Division 1, chalk. Everyone unchanged. Shiner and Refugio both idle. I think we're getting to the point now where I do wonder if you could make the argument that Post deserves to be number 2. That's neither here nor there. Something I've just been thinking about. They remain number 3, but that top 3 especially, Shiner, Refugio, Post, unchanged. Lindsay checks in at number 4 as well. By the way, big game this week, number 5 Joaquin and number 8 Tempson. 2A Division 2, where chalk. 1 through 10 unchanged. Mart idle. They're still the number 1 team in 2A Division 2. Hamlin got a forfeit win over Crosbyton. Everyone else pretty sizable winners over their respective opponents, including Wellington gets a nice win over Clarendon.
That was big.
To the six-man ranks, where we do have some changes. These, of course, come our friend Granger Huntress at sixmanfootball.com. The new number 1 team in 1A Division 1, the Sterling City Eagles. 2, though, Victor, go the Spoils, as they knock off previously unbeaten number 1 Westbrook. Westbrook drops to number 3 as a result of the loss. And back into the rankings, they fought COVID all year long, but Water Valley back into the top 10 at number 10 with their big win over Eden. Everything else largely unchanged. Although you did have Knox City leapfrog Lakey for the number 7 spot. 1A Division 2, you've got some more movement. Motley County jumps ahead of Richland Springs for the number 2 spot. Groom up a pair of spots with their win, even though they were idle, but they leapfrog Calvert and Jayton due to strength of schedule. Everything else mostly unchanged. Finally, to the private school ranks, where top 5 in 11-man are unchanged. Parish Episcopal, Fort Worth Nolan, Plano John Paul II, Trinity Christian Cedar Hill, and San Antonio Cornerstone, who got a big win over Del Rio. And the 6-man ranks also unchanged. Austin Veritas and Fredericksburg Heritage and Bastrop Tribe consolidated all winners. New Braunfels Christian at number 3, and Dallas Lake Hill at number 5 were idle. And so there are your Week 10 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press rankings. You can find them on texasfootball.com/rankings.